Well, hey, my friend. Welcome to Creatives on Fire, the go-to podcast for content creators looking to grow their audience as well as their income. I'm so excited you're here. I'm your host, Melanie Ferguson. Well, hey, my friend. Welcome back to the podcast. This week, we are going to talk about a super fun concept called the 5-hour work week, the blogger edition. So I first got this idea from Tim Ferriss. He wrote the book, The 4-Hour Work Week, How to Escape the 9 to 5, Live Anywhere, and Join the Rich. And this was one of my first business books I ever read. I'm going to link it in the show notes because it is such a fun one. But it first gave me the concept of you don't have to work 8 hours a day every single day. In fact, you shouldn't if you're doing the right things in order to grow your business. Same goes with a blog. Now, I know that I've heard from a lot of people when it comes to blogging, they have all sorts of excuses. In fact, a lot of people won't start a blog because they say that they don't have enough followers or not enough time in the day. I'm not disciplined enough, or blogging doesn't work for me, or blogging isn't working for most people right now. So I know that there's excuses out there, but there is one key ingredient that will create the opportunity that blogging has to gift you, and that is consistency. We hear it with everything. We hear it with social media posting. We hear it with working out. We hear it with eating right. But it's so true, and it's so simple, so simple. And I want to show you how you can take this concept of having a 5-hour work week and put it to reality for you. Can you really blog in only 5 hours a week and be successful? Yes, my friend, you can, but you're going to have to do these 3 things. You're going to have to make a plan, you're going to have to make it predictable, and you're going to have to make it a priority. So let's dive in. All right, so making the plan. The plan for your 5-hour work week is really, really, really simple. And I always really am surprised at how when everybody wants the key to success, it's never anything complicated. It's never anything overly dramatic or lots of hoops to jump through. It's truly, truly usually something very, very simple. And this is the case with a 5-hour work week. So what I want you to do is take each day of the week and you are going to use it for something different. We're going to have 1 hour a day. All right, are you ready? This is where it gets really exciting. We are going to take each day of the week and tackle one aspect of blogging. So on Mondays, you can write your draft in WordPress. Use AI, use whatever you need, but get your draft up and over on your WordPress. And that includes keyword research and your title. And then on Tuesdays, I want you to take that draft and use it to help you as a guideline to create the content. So whether that means you are going to create the content on live video, you're going to create the content by going shopping, thrifting, whatever your concept is, if you need to create a recipe, you're going to do all the creation of the post, bringing it to life on Tuesday. And then your hour on Wednesday, you're going to sit down, put all of that together, and schedule the post for the following week. Yes, you are doing this work a week in advance. So Monday, you did the draft. Tuesday, you created the content. Wednesday, you're putting it all together and scheduling it out. And you may ask yourself, well, Melanie, what does that leave me to do on Thursday and Friday? Because we've already created the content and scheduled it out. Well, I love front loading your week with the must-do items. Thursday and Friday is not really optional, but it is definitely something that you can do on the back end of the week. And that is on Thursday, you'll schedule all of the post promotion. This is where you're going to go pin the post. You're going to schedule out the additional pins. You're going to create the email and schedule that out for the next week. And you're going to create any social media content and schedule that out for the following week. On Friday, this again is optional, but I don't really think it's optional, is create and schedule video promotions. So these are going to be your short and long form content on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all the reels, whatever you're going to create from this blog post to put on social, you're going to do that on Fridays. So let's go back over the 5 hours that you're going to spend on your blog each week. On Monday, you're going to do the keyword research. You are going to write out the draft in WordPress. On Tuesday, you're going to create the actual content, get it all assembled. And then on Wednesday, you're going to actually put it together and you are going to schedule that post for the following week. Now that you have your content done and scheduled, we on Thursday are going to get all the promotions ready. We're going to create the pins and have them scheduled out, the email, have that scheduled out, and any social media static posts. And then on Friday, last but not least, we are going to create and schedule any video promotions of the post content. And that could be reels, YouTube videos, what have you. So this, you may think, oh, well, that sounds great. And that's sort of doable. I want you to know that this is something that is a plan. And so now we need to make it predictable. And how do we make it predictable? Well, we have to make it automatic and we have to make it a routine and a habit. So I recommend that you decide where that hour is going to be throughout your week ahead of time. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. So I want you to make sure that you have planned out exactly when your 60 minutes will take place. And I would pick a time that is fairly free from distractions. So for me and for a lot of entrepreneurs, that would be first thing in the morning. And that might require you to actually get up an hour before every single person else. Ask me how I know, so that you have peace and quiet and you can get this one crucial hour's worth of work completed for your blog. This is going to help free your mind and give you that confidence to move forward with the rest of your business day, knowing that you have already taken care of your blog content. It's going to make it automatic. You're not going to have any room for having to make a decision later, like, oh, do I feel like writing this? Do I feel like editing this? Do I feel like scheduling this? This takes all of that decision fatigue out of the picture. You can also, to help you with those distractions, is create like a group tab up on your Google bar that says blogging, and only open that when you sit down to do this 1 hour's worth of work. That will help you with all of the distractions that email and internet and social media provide. Just keep in mind that you are going to respect this time and you are going to make it a habit and you are going to make it as distraction-free as absolutely possible. Now, in order to also be successful with this 5-hour work week, I want you to consider making it a definite priority. So what I mean by that is, if you knew that doing this on the regular would work for you, it would create this additional income that you are looking for your business and your family, would you do it? Would you do it? Would you give it what it takes to get this done every single week? Not skipping a day, not cutting yourself short over the hour, but getting this done. You have to make this a priority. That means when you sit down at your computer to do your 1 hour's worth of the blogging content, that you are not opening any other tabs. You are literally looking straight at that blogging tab, opening it, and doing that day's 1 hour activities. Once you get in a routine and get these plans executed, you are going to be able to sustain your success, because staying ahead of the game creates a peace and like an unhurried calm inside of your mind that will help you remain creative and help prevent burnout, which is what our major goal is. And so also you might be thinking to yourself, well, Melanie, I'm like you. I do more than one post a week. That's fine. You will double these hours. So instead of 1 hour a day, you will need 2 hours a day. But I'm going to tell you that once you start, it's kind of like, okay, when people have kids and they're like, after 3, I could have 10 and it wouldn't make a difference because the workload is the same. So it's kind of like that with blogging. So after you have, now 1 is a different animal, but if you start having 2 and 3, then I feel like it's not going to take a full hour for each thing. On Mondays, I can knock out 4 drafts in the 1 hour. I can knock out 4 drafts. And then on Tuesday, I can knock out content styling of images or AI images with recipes or crafting live. I can knock all that out in a couple of 2, maybe 3 hours. And then when it comes to publishing and putting it all together, I can knock out 2 or 3 blog posts in a couple hours. It's not going to take me 2 or 3 hours to actually do the same amount of work. Because you are stacking it and batching it, it kind of shrinks the time. I hope that makes sense. All right, so I want you to really take a hold of this concept that you can do this. You can be successful. It will work for you to do this 5-hour work week. And if you just make the plan, make it predictable, and make it a priority. So there's no secret. It's just boring, consistent actions that compound over time. This blogging success is not going to come from just being absolutely crazy, extraordinary. It's going to come from being consistently reliable to yourself and to the blog. I want you to get really, really good at these boring basics, 1 hour a day, building automatic systems so that they become effortless. They become like muscle memory. You get up, you know exactly what you're going to be doing. You're opening that blogging tab, grabbing your favorite beverage, and getting busy with the content that you need to create. Final takeaway for you is that boring work done systematically becomes extraordinary success. And I want to see you creating a great income with your blog, no excuses, with the 5-hour work week. How does that sound? Let me know. I hope you have a great week. And until the next time, stay creative. Thank you so much, my friend, for tuning in each and every week. If you learned something new or were inspired from today's episode, I would be incredibly grateful if you would take a minute and just leave a review. Bonus points if you share this episode by screenshotting it and tagging me on social at Creatives on Fire Podcast. I'll share you in my stories when you do. In the meantime, keep rocking your business, and don't forget, no one else will ever be you, and that is your creative superpower.